DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NFLX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insiders.
And then, Santa, I want one of those FSR TTS 102s. And then, oh, hey, there's a DJ skirt thing. I want one of those, too. And then, Santa,
Take two, they're small.
There's this rolling thing. Those are always cool. Oh, wait, no. This stuff will all be gone way before then. Or we're hoping, at least.
Oh, I don't even know what we have left. Gosh, I mean, there was a team effort to work on the list. It was a team effort just to try to keep up on my messages. And I think we wore out the floor between the office. Our office and our warehouse are two different buildings. And of course, it's a beautiful day outside. It was like 75, 79 degrees. So, people weren't too heartbroken they had to run outside. But I mean, people were literally running orders out to the warehouse, printing them in the office and running them out. Just, because it was that much drive for some of these items. And I think there's still stuff left, but I think there's still actually quite a few good things left, but wow, who knows?
So good evening and welcome everyone. Tonight we are broadcasting out to Facebook and YouTube tonight, talking about the things that Ben found in his closet that he now has put together into this list we were just referring to. And that list has been super, super popular today yesterday, as Ben broke the internet.
Yeah, a few times. So yesterday I broke the internet, I think just trying to get information from people who wanted the list and from people who wanted to get on the list to get the list. And then today, when we tried to send people the list, most of whom was via Facebook Messenger, we broke it again a few times. We crashed Facebook twice, got my account locked up several times.
I was going to say it probably happened at some point in time today.
Responding to messages so fast, I think Facebook thought I was a robot. Or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then we brought down Dropbox. So the only thing left is our email server. So we're going to try to bring that down now. So I guess if you want to get the list, I know we haven't talked about what the list is, but if you want to get the list, here's what I think you should do. Email customer care, all one word, customer care at nlfxpro.com. and ask for the list, and we will email it back to you. And I do sincerely apologize. We tried to message people back, but you know what, John? We kind of lost count, honestly. It's something between 5,000 and 7,000 people have asked for the list.
Goodness. And
apparently when in the span of a few hours, you try to send 5,000 Facebook messages, it doesn't work.
Not so much, unless you've got an application designed for that.
Well, and I think Facebook is not designed for that. I think they were somewhat, you have to think about it in this context. Facebook limits the number of friends you can have to 5,000. So when you try to exceed the maximum number of friends you can have in messages in the span of a few hours, I can see their point. I can kind of see Facebook's, but to all the people who have commented and have messaged, and are wanting the list, I am very sorry. Obviously, that was not the right thing to do. We had no idea we were going to bring Facebook down. So I am sorry if you're still waiting for the list. I do apologize for the inconvenience. We want you to get the list. Believe me, we spent days going through stuff in the warehouse, and we want you to get the list. So please email customer care at nlfxpro.com, and I promise you we will send you the list.
So we're going to talk about some of the things that are on the list and kind of go through that a little bit. The email that Ben mentioned, I put those into the two chats, so you guys can send a message there, and they will get you that list. If you are watching this after the fact, you're going to have to type it in yourself, because in about 3 or 4 days, this video, someone's going to find it, and I don't want to have them some spider or bot killing Ben's email address.
Please. Yes, thank you.
So it's only going to be in the chat. It's
already getting hammered.
It's only going to be in the chat. So let's back up. This is going to be things that you're clearing out of the warehouse. Kind of give people an idea of how large of a space this warehouse is that you're clearing out, because this is a pretty big facility.
Yeah, it doesn't feel big enough right now, I'll tell you that. But obviously, with all the new products that have come in and with the expansion into musical instruments, the warehouse has gotten very crowded very quickly. And we just had some friends from Canada that were on their way home from the Midwest DJ show, and they stopped by and they visited. And one of them jokingly said, "Hey, what are the yellow and black striped lines on the floor for? Is that just don't put anything on the line?" And the reason is because there's stuff on both sides of the line. There's no more zoning really that's happening. And so we've identified roughly a semi-trailer sized pile of gear that we want to get rid of. In some cases, these are obsolete items. They're old items, which a couple people have loved. They've said, "Oh my gosh, I've been looking for one of those to match what I had." Other people just love a great deal. There's some very inexpensive media players and things that would be good for getting going, DJing or whatever, or backup system, that sort of thing. And then there are returned items, the things that are open box, things that were show demos, obviously a lot of trade shows in the first quarter. And then we have a few items. We just said, man, we've got too many of these. And so we sort of picked off a couple and said, well, a couple of these can go, a couple of those can go, and sort of sprinkled some goodies in the list for you.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I think once we get rid of this, and we can get sort of to the core, I think there will be more. Once we can access some more of these items that have been sort of pushed aside, so, and all of these things are going ridiculously cheap. I think, I don't know exactly, but the majority of the items on the list are for less than we paid for them. And all of the items we've included the shipping cost. Actually, a few cases we are quite literally just paying you to take it. But those items also include shipping costs to the 48 U.S. states. With apologies to my friends in Hawaii, Alaska, and Puerto Rico, you will have to pay a little more to get it to you. Other countries, obviously, same deal. And you know what? I'm just on a roll here, I guess. Crazy Ben's discount sale. If you order several items that we can fit into a box and we can save a little on the shipping, we'll give you a little break. So buy more and save more. And better yet, if you want to come to beautiful Bemidji, Minnesota, where the lakes are now open for fishing and it was 75 or so degrees today, bring an empty truck, bring an empty van, bring an empty box truck. You know what? Actually, just bring an empty 53-foot semi. You can solve the whole problem for us.
One quick swoop.
There will be better deals if you pick it up, because instead of paying UPS, we will just give you that discount and you can leave with it. Heck, you buy enough, I'll even buy you lunch.
Oh,
I'm in so much trouble with our warehouse guys right now. They need that space back.
So let's kind of talk about a few of the things. First off, I'm going to start at the very, very bottom. We had Midwest DJs Live just a couple of weeks ago, and I see on the list are still a couple of the deals from Midwest DJs Live that are carrying over here for a few more days.
Yeah, honestly, I just threw those on there, even though some of those things don't really have much bearing on our warehouse sale.
Sure.
I just thought, you know what, we've got so many people looking for this, and I felt like people would be asking for that information anyway. So I thought, why not? We'll put on some of those specials from the Midwest DJs live show, and then of course Electro Voice. We have a great deal going on right now with them, with the EKX and ZLX, and I thought, you know what, just for the sake of comparison, let's put that on there. And by the way, let me tell you how good those EKX deals are. We have EKX demo units from MobileBeat. I didn't bother putting them on the list. With what the EKX deal is right now with Evie, I thought there is no chance we're going to sell these demo units. Not without, literally paying you to take them.
Mm-hmm.
So the deals on EKX right now are so good, brand new. You'd be foolish to not take advantage of that. And please do not wait until June 6th. There is no power on heaven or earth. Even though I'm wearing an Eevee shirt right now and I'm drinking out of an Eevee glass right now, there is no power I have to get them to extend this deal. It is that it's going to end June 5th. It's going to end. And if you missed it, you missed it. And I'm sorry. We do have some great financing that doesn't report to the credit bureaus. If you're worried about, preserving your credit or buying a house or something, we have some options for you there. Whatever. But anyway, don't wait is all I'm telling you. And same thing with the RCF deals. Now I don't have an RCF shirt to pull on over this.
No, you don't.
But actually, you know what? I've never done this on national TV, John, but you want to see something really cool here? I'm going to take watch this. We're going to unbutton my shirt. All right. No,
I was going to give you.
Look at that.
Oh, jeez.
I'm really.
Now, if you'd have your RCF watch on and your
I do have an RCF sweatshirt around here somewhere, and it's really nice. It's not a job; it's a wardrobe. Anyway, of course, we were partnering with RCF at Midwest DJs, and there are some stellar RCF deals on there as well.
On the brand new awesome Evox, I'm seeing too.
Yes, the Evox J8 and the J-Mix 8 both have deals right now as well.
Yeah.
So do not miss out on those. But never mind all that new fancy stuff.
Well, we started at the bottom.
Really awesome, but never mind all that new fancy, really awesome stuff. Buy some of the other stuff. And by the way, we do have a lot of stuff. We have brand new in the box Pioneer controllers, brand new in the box Denon controllers, Newmark controllers, and Roland controllers on our deal. So it's not all old dusty stuff either.
Well, and I see, and they could be
some old dusty stuff.
I'm seeing, there's some. You've got some ETX. I see some Evolves and things that were on that list at one time. Now the question becomes: are they? Some of the stuff
is gone. They were gone within like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say some of the stuff would have been gone immediately.
Let me point this out. On those ETX subs, those were the demo units from MobileBeat, so they're obviously very, very gently used. Now I know we can't say the price on the air, but look at that price, and remember that includes shipping.
I was just going to say that was a better price than. Well, of course, there are numerous prices here. It's like, I purchased some of these things last year.
We are losing money on those subs. We are literally losing money on those subs. But they're big, and they're demos, and they got to go. Because next trade show will probably have new demos,
Yeah, that's just the
There's
nature
only
of
two of them, so thank goodness. There's only two, off they go to a nice home. So anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got on the list there was some ELX 200, the new some of the new line. There's some LD systems things in there, and that's
also MobileBeat demos on the ELX 200s.
Yeah,
we with so many trade shows in such a short period of time, sometimes you can't get things from one show to the next, so you end up with more demos than you need.
Mm-hmm.
And we did sell a lot of demos at MobileBeat, but as it turns out, we've just got more demos than we need, and these things are in beautiful shape. They're like brand new, and they still have a warranty, but they are demo, and so the deals abound. ELX 200 is a very lightweight speaker, which of course, it's a really nice thing about it. Shipping's not quite so bad on that.
So, much different than ETX subwoofer.
The ETX subs, man, just shipping those subs, they got to go truck. And that's
it's almost easier to go and bolt a hitch to the front of the sub and drive it down the road.
I'll tell you what, if you come pick up the ETX subs, so we don't have to ship them to you and lose all that money, I won't buy you lunch. I'll buy you steak dinner. If you're a vegetarian, I'll buy you a tofu dinner. I don't know, whatever, but I'll grill it myself.
See, now that would be worth. Well, okay. would there be cookies involved when you're done? Would you make cookies?
I'll throw in a cookie.
See, there you go. Now, if you were going to bake cookies, although I think your daughter told us. So
after the last show, nobody wants my
nobody
cookies.
wants a cookie.
So my daughter told everybody I don't know how to bake. So,
There was that. But John Cox is asking how long the sale is going on.
Until it's gone.
Until that gear's gone, and then the speakers, the new speakers from RCF and EV. RCF is like the end of May, and EV was like in the first, a little bit into June, but basically end of May for the brand new speakers. If you're looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm still working my way through.
There's a lot of stuff in there, isn't there?
There is a lot of stuff, and I want to, there's a few things I wanted to point out. You got microphone systems in here and a variety of different.
It's like $150,000 worth of stuff or something.
Holy cow!
That's going out at fire sale prices. So.
And I'm looking because you've got a quantity of the different items. So we get into the speakers. You've got the quantity 2, and so on. A lot of lighting here from Blizzard, and I see Eternal, Eliminator, ADJ.
Everybody.
Yep, Chauvet. You've got
again demos, returns, mostly demos. A lot of it's demo, to be honest with you. So, but we've tried to be pretty honest about that. There's a column in there that says what it is. Is it open box? Is it show demo? Is it new? Is there a warranty on it? That sort of thing. Many things have a warranty. Many things have a factory warranty, and then others we've put on like a 30-day warranty of our own, just to say, listen, you're going to get it. It's not going to be DOA.
Mm-hmm.
We've asked our warehouse guys that if anything, as they go to pull it and ship it, if anything raises any suspicion, it should be tested, inspected, and the customer will be contacted prior to that thing leaving. We don't want this to be a bad experience for anybody. Not, we don't want to lose money on something and make you mad.
Exactly.
That's not a good deal, not for anybody. So,
okay, so now I finally made it up to the controllers on page. I'm up finally to page 2 as I've been coming up from the bottom. So we've got.
Yep, we got to tread lightly here because these are all brand new factory sealed, so we can't be talking price here.
No, but you've got Newmark, you've got there's some Roland, Cortex, Pioneer, Denon, Soundcraft.
Is there Soundcraft?
Yeah,
it must be
a US a S.
Oh, the UB Matty card from SI Impact.
Yeah.
There is so much stuff, and listen, let me just save you some effort right now, viewers. Number one, please don't email me and say, do you have on the list? I'm sorry. I would love to tell you, that I love to work for you, but you got to read the list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting so many messages that Facebook is locking up my account. That gives you an idea of the volume of messages I'm fielding. And 2, I don't know what's on the list. I kind of lost track.
Oh yeah,
and I certainly don't know what's left. So just look at the list, please.
And then we get into getting from the controllers. We go up into you've got some
Step
different.
Out, please. Thank you. Step out, please. We don't want to hear any more cooking stories.
Wait, this is the best part of the show.
Now let the cat out, please.
We were going to talk about grilling steaks, and she was going to tell us.
We're not going to talk about. I don't even want to hear her critiques on how I grill a steak.
Oh, come on, man. It would be awesome. Okay, so
she's never getting on the air again after the way she.
She was charming and fun.
She is, yeah. That's okay. Let's be honest. That's the real beef I have here. Is she completely upstaged me?
She did.
If I let her get in front of this camera, my time on the air is done. I'm not ready. I know I'm going to get put out to pasture. I'm just not ready for that to happen so soon.
Yeah, exactly. Especially by one's daughter.
Yeah, she's 9. Give me a little time here.
And then getting into some carts and cases, we've got. I see you've got some rock and roller carts, which I still think is one of those secret weapons that a lot of DJs. I when people are showing me a picture and they're moving their gear with a 2-wheel hand cart, I just cringe. Because I was that person for so long. And then you start hauling gear on a rock and roller cart when you can spread that out and do everything that you want to do. It's like, oh my goodness gracious. Granted,
we have 3 rock and rollers that we use in the warehouse and production. And we had one in particular that was dedicated. I think it was an R8 or an R10.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was dedicated to hauling cable ramps, the heavy duty guard dog 5-channel cable ramps.
Okay.
I think it was over 500 pounds on the cart, and it did it for years. We're still using the cart, by the way, but we've now designed a new cart specifically for cable ramps, and we're actually going to try to bring it to market for tour and arenas. And when we were working with an engineering firm on developing the prototypes and what wall thickness, square tube, and that sort of thing, and they're coming back with these awesomely engineered things, and then we said, come to our shop, and we showed them the rock and roller, and they said, that thing held that kind of weight. Wow, they were impressed. And so we actually used rock and roller as an example to try to dial back the weapons grade engineering. Now, obviously, the cable ramp cart we came out with is, I think it's 1.25 inch square tube, but it's pretty beefy. It'll hold up to the rigors of tour. But the point is that rock and roller did hundreds of shows with basically always having the cable ramps on it at 500 pounds. It was loaded in the truck that way. Goodness knows all the horrible things it endured. And the other two, between our install guys and our warehouse guys, we just replaced wheels on one set because we've just pretty much blown out the hubs on that thing after I don't know how many years of horrific abuse.
Yeah.
These guys aren't very nice to them. They're really not. And I think part of that's because they know there's a warehouse full of wheels there. They could just, expense it to their department. And I don't know, they have abused the heck out of these carts. So yeah, rock and roller carts, deals there. I think we had one R14 RT, which is the predecessor to the R14G. I think we had some open box ones where actually the cart wasn't even open. The box had some damage to it, that sort of thing.
Sure.
So some good deals.
Yeah, for sure. There's different sizes and different capacities. Oh, you've even got a couple of Roland units here. The new Roland DJ controllers. Man, you've got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know why those are on there because they're brand new. They're not just brand new. They're brand new. They just came out. I guess we just thought we'd create a little movement or something. I don't know. You sort of get in the spirit of thing and you just start grabbing things and go, well, let's just throw this in. We didn't want them to be the only controller company that didn't have something on this deal. So.
Oh my goodness gracious. The price on that one.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wow. And again, we can't talk price, but because of going to trade shows and talking to these people at NAMM, one of the questions I ask, which unfortunately I never tell you guys, is it's like, okay, so what's MAP and what's dealer pricing? And most of these companies will tell me, okay, here's dealer pricing and here's dealer pricing, They go through, there's different levels of dealer pricing. They tell me this stuff. And we don't talk about it on our videos because that would not be a fair thing for dealers in the industry. But Ben, you're not making any. So next week we're going to have to do a telethon for Ben so he can afford to buy himself breakfast.
You're not wrong. When my wife finds out, we're going to have a GoFundMe so I have a place to live after this.
The NS, you've got a couple of the NS Newmark NS7 III in there, some of the NV.
And I think those are actually back ordered right now. So I don't even know why those are on there, honestly. Because we have them obviously in stock, but it's not like they're not a good selling controller.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're
a very good selling controller. I think honestly, the reason they're on there is they're big.
Yeah.
And so if we've got a few more than our standard stock rotation, and if you saw the video, you saw this pile of gear, basically 2 pallets wide by 8 pallets deep. Or so of stuff that doesn't have a home right now. And it's just one of those situations where, obviously when we added the musical instruments and that sort of thing, we had to, change the amount of space allocated to items. And it's, we try to base that on inventory flows. And, don't question it. Just take advantage of it. Don't ask why. Don't snooze on it. Just snap one up and then don't go tell everybody what a great price you got because the price isn't going to happen again. So
you've got the brand new Pioneer controller on here too.
Yeah, don't go throwing those prices at other dealers. Just don't look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say.
Wow.
So.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, that wasn't the price that Pioneer was talking about at this show. I'm just saying. GoFundMe page. I'll get working on it, Ben. You'll need it next week.
Well, the good news is the weather's nice enough now, and I did
You
stop
could sleep
down.
in a tent.
Actually, you know what I did right after I shot that video? Not realizing that 10,000 people would watch the video and that 5,000 to 7,000 of you would message. And thank you very much to the 60 plus people who shared it. There's, I think last I saw, over 600 comments on it. So believe me, I'm super thrilled. I just have the best friends in the world, John. I tell you what, the people who shared that and have commented, I am just so very grateful for you. I really, really appreciate you. And so, not realizing that I was going to be bigger than the Kardashians after I made this video, I went and I took my Keurig back to my camper. That's camping right there. Okay. You know,
that's wow.
I'm an Eagle Scout, but that's the first thing I bought for my camper was a Keurig. And anyway, went through it and sort of got it ready for the season. So I guess worst comes to worst. If Mrs. Stowe finds out about what I've done and this sale and sends me packing, I'll just live in the camper for a few days.
Used to be the doghouse, but yay, we've upgraded to the camper. But we have a Keurig.
It's not bad. It's not bad to be me sometimes,
Let's see. Are there any questions here? Yeah. Ben, I do have a question from earlier today, and this is really nothing to do with the gear, except some of the gear is there. Somebody was asking about matching up an ETX 12 top with an EKX 18 sub, and wondering what setting you would use or how you would recommend doing that to make those match up as well as you possibly could.
I would probably go with 100 hertz. I believe the EKX tops have settings for the ETX subs, but not the other way around. If my memory serves me correctly, that might be in both. But in any case, I think if you went with 100 hertz on both, you're going to be pretty happy. And that's, that's a dynamite combo, honestly. Either way, they're going to sound good together. I think the ETX tops could run away from that sub a little bit. And I always tend to I almost like to have twice as many subs as I have tops. But that's a pretty killer combo there, putting some ETX 12s over the EKX 18.
Yeah.
And if you haven't heard about the EKX deal that's going on soon,
check out page 7 or maybe 6.
Yeah. Rewind to about 5 minutes ago in this conversation.
And again, the link for the email is in the chat. So you can scroll up and you can find the link. Email NFLX Pro, the customer care at NFLXpro.com, and they will get you that list. And we have
what? Customer care is checked by a few people. And obviously, as we want to make sure our customers are taken care of. So during business hours, there's several people who are monitoring that inbox. Not one, but a couple of them came to my office door together.
That's never a good sign.
Surprisingly, they were not carrying pitchforks or torches, but they looked at me and they said, "What have you done? What did you do?" It's just blowing up. So anyway, thank you. Keep blowing up their inbox. Doesn't bother me a bit.
It's not mine. It's theirs. Not a habit. Oh. Well, gang, you've got the links. You can go check that out, and we will be back then next week, and we can tell you exactly where Ben Stowe is living.
Back in under the bridge.
He's under the bridge down by the river in a van. Oh, yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, let me just say, as a former homeless person, and granted, that was a long time ago in my life. And I was young and adventurous, and believe me, it's not adventurous. Right after the first 3 minutes, it gets old, but, it sounds glamorous when you say that. Maybe not glamorous, but maybe there's some, Hollywood romanticism to, living under the bridge or that sort of thing. That's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. You're afraid to go to sleep. You're afraid somebody will stab you in your sleep or steal everything you own, or stab you and then steal everything. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I just, can't say enough about if you get a chance to do something, for a homeless organization, go serve a meal or something, or just have a conversation. I realize many people that are homeless also have some, mental illness, and that does make them kind of challenging to talk to and whatnot. But sometimes you find people there that are just there because of a circumstance or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're going through a lot. I tell you, with all the joking, about this sale and whatever, I think I would do just about anything legal and moral to avoid being homeless again. That's a pretty tough deal.
Mm.
So my heart really does go out to those people. When I see them, I think, gosh, how lucky am I? We joke about going and living in the camper, but that's a possibility,
Yeah, but it's, yeah, we say these things in jest, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, just walking around.
My social statement for the day, is think of those people who are so much less fortunate. Because, again, if they're struggling with mental illness and that sort of thing, it's not even a question of, just get a job and don't be homeless anymore. Obviously, I was blessed to have a pretty good toolkit, mentally. I mean, I might be crazy when you see those prices, I guess, it's fairly obvious, but all joking aside, obviously I'm a fairly ambulatory and intelligent person, and I was able to, carve out a different path in life. And some of these people just are, that they're not going to have that opportunity. So
yeah,
I think they deserve our empathy, if nothing else. Our help would be better.
Yeah, for sure.
It just kills me when people say stuff like that to homeless people. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent, but people are like, get a job. It's not that simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody who's lived under a bridge who's ever said that. Anyway, I'm done. I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
Keeping it real. And that wasn't mine. Someone else had mentioned that Ben's keeping it real there from DJ Extreme.
Well, if the shoe fits,
it does. Yep, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a part of the world we live in, and as a caring, compassionate person who sees things and has experienced things, there's things that we don't want, lessons that we have learned, we want other people to learn from our experience instead of having to experience them themselves. And
I've seen the world from two very differently, sort of diametrically opposed viewpoints. I think, under the proverbial bridge, and, now being the president of a company who, people want to get my influence. They want to, buy you lunch kind of thing, get your influence. Jet setting around the world and enjoying things that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do. And the privilege to live in a way that a lot of people can't. And it's, again, when you see it from those two diametrically opposed viewpoints, on one hand, I guess it would be easy for me to say, well, I did it, I'm not homeless anymore. But again, I know it's just not that simple.
Oh,
it
for
really
sure.
Isn't for a lot of people.
And I think that
some people, all they need is a chance. Other people, again, they just need they need the best of humanity from us. And if you're watching the show, you're probably a privileged person in some way or another. You might not think so. Maybe the neighbor has a little more than you. I don't care. Bottom line, if you're watching this show and you're running a DJ company, you are probably a privileged person.
You mentioned mental health and when we're in Vegas, we get to see, walking around, a lot of people who are struggling with different issues especially in that mental health world. And as someone who has some family members who are suffering from different depression and anxiety issues and things, when you don't have these things, it's sometimes a little difficult to be able to I don't want to say be empathetic towards that, but just to kind of grasp at how debilitating something like depression or anxiety, the rampant anxiety with different social situations, how much that can affect one's life and outlook. And it just gives it a whole new understanding of that when you see people who are struggling with that, and you can see and touch them, but there's just, how do you help them, and how do you,
I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah.
Obviously that takes a lot smarter people than me, but I think, I have a family member who is partially wheelchair bound and wasn't always. And so I know this person in, both versions of their life. They have a debilitating illness that's kind of taking away their mobility.
Mm-hmm.
And, it would be easy for you or I to say, well, get up and walk. What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with you. Get up and walk, because we don't have anything wrong with us. We can't understand, what's happening to them. Now, I think that's one where, obviously we know they're not faking, and it's easy to see that they are physically struggling. Mental illness is entirely different, where it's difficult maybe to see that in the same way. I'm just speaking for myself. I can't speak for anybody else. But you might say, well, just don't think like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Just don't do that. Well, it doesn't work that way. There is, something is not working correctly in their brain, and that's not their fault, I guess. And that's, believe me, it's hard, to be around people who have those, mental illnesses. Like you said, it's hard to empathize with that, but I think we have to.
We certainly have to. It's just to try and not to, it's just when you don't have that point of reference, and you don't want to be, offensive, and you don't want to be, condescending or belittling. It's just, it's an interesting.
That's beyond me. I'll tell you. I'll be honest.
It is. It's a tough thing. We've got, family members and some friends who are struggling with specifically depression. It's a tough area to do.
There's a whole different aspect to this. I was thinking about, we have an organization in town that various churches house homeless people, on a night, and then they go to another church and another church, and sort of every church has kind of a turn, and so they're always looking for volunteers. And one night I did, and it was really fascinating. Things have changed a lot since I was homeless, which was 26 years ago. Several of the people had cell phones, and several, which I think is really a virtual necessity in today's world.
Yeah, really.
And several of them had jobs. So maybe it was more of a mental reason than anything, but they, I took the night shift, and there was a couple of them getting up in the morning, getting ready to go to work. And they just because you have a job doesn't mean you have a house, or
for sure,
or whatever. So, some of them were migrant workers, transient workers. They were just there for seasonal work and just moving on, and just, I don't know. They didn't want to get a place. I don't understand it. I don't know. But anyway, we've really strayed off the topic.
Yeah, but that's okay. The
bottom line, just be a decent human being, right?
Just
be a decent human being.
Take care of your neighbors. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Amen. Someday they might be taking care of you. So.
And they might be taking care of you by helping you make room in the warehouse. See how I brought that around? Circle it right around.
That'd be great. You know what? Hey, if at least if we got some room, I could sleep in the warehouse.
There you are.
I have a house. I have a perfectly good house. It's just a question of whether or not the wife will let me continue to live in it after she sees what I sold this stuff for. So, I guess that would be the thing.
Well, once again, the links are up in the chats there. You can go and catch the links, send an email out, and they'll get that list. I'm thinking that you may or may not get the list yet tonight, but for sure in the morning when staff gets in. Because a couple of people had mentioned that we haven't heard back. So
if they messaged after 5 Central, I guarantee you, listen, our staff loves you and we love serving you. But after today, I guarantee you at 5:01, there was nobody left.
Yeah. So tomorrow morning, you guys will get the list.
They couldn't get, they had a day. Listen, I'm just asking for your empathy for my staff now too. 5 o'clock, they were like, we got to go. They'll be back in tomorrow, refreshed and ready to go. So if you wrote after 5 o'clock Central, expect a reply tomorrow. If you wrote before 5 o'clock Central and have not received a reply, check your spam filter, and maybe check to make sure if that those kind of things can get through. And worst case, write us again.
Yep. Give it a shot.
Believe me, we want to get you the list.
What time tomorrow morning are you guys going to be in?
I think that depends on if everybody went straight home or if they went to the bar tonight after
after a day with Ben crashing the internet.
Yeah. The next time I do one of these sales, we're just going to have to put a margarita machine in the office.
We got to go. We just need a cold one after what Ben did today.
People start getting in as early as 7:30 Central. I would expect people will start replying to messages around 8 o'clock Central.
Okay. That sounds great then, gang. You guys can look for that tomorrow if you sent off. And yeah, Katie, sending a shout out to Katie and such here. So good. We're going to wrap things up, and we'll be back. Yep. We'll be back in about 20 minutes. Brian Red is getting his managing of DJ hat on today, and this will be interesting because I don't know what Brian's all got on his
Managing of DJ.
Managing of DJs. Yeah, that's not a Brian Red topic. So there must be a soapbox that needs to be stood on tonight and kind of preached from. So I'm
gonna have to tune into this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about. So we'll find out how that all goes. So once again, thank you guys for watching. You can find a link here. Go to the DJNTV. Go to the Facebook page there, and you can find the link. Otherwise, just be back here at youtube.com/discjockeynews in 19 minutes. Thanks.